What's up? I'm him. It's still Friday, still August the 10th, and today is my second stream of the day. It's evening. So, yeah, I don't really have an agenda. I just got back from a motorcycle ride, which is why I'm sweaty. Like, I literally just got back. I took off all my clothes, not half of them. Well, I guess technically half of them. My pants and my boots are over there on the floor. The only thing I put up is my jacket and my gloves. Helmet is still out. But I wanted to come in and do a quick stream to pull off the footage off my camera from my ride. The exhaust that I just got sounds amazing. It's completely changed the character of this Ducati. For what it's worth, for those of you who don't know, I own a 2024 Ducati Street Fighter V4S. This is replacing my older 2017 Ducati Monster 1200R, which was tuned, which also had an exhaust and all that kind of stuff, and I owned that for about 7 years. So I got very, very, very used to how that particular bike sounds. And not only that, because it's a monster, it's a little bit softer because it's made for the road. I got more comfortable with just how soft the suspension is. So I also got the Street Fighter suspension tuned for my weight. Night and day difference. Night and day. I can't even articulate how big of a difference it makes. Now all of a sudden the suspension is compliant. When I go over bumps, it's not using me as a suspension. It's not going into me. The bike and the suspension is actually working the way that it should, which is great, to be honest. It only costs, I think the guy charged me $100 maybe to actually do the suspension tuning, but I also got the exhaust installed. So all in, I was looking at about $450, but that was before I also got another piece installed, specifically the oil pan protector. It's like a little billet piece of aluminum that you could put underneath the oil pan to help protect it from scraping and damaging itself when you hit a speed bump or if you bottom out or whatever. So all in, to get everything installed, get the bike picked up, to get it, take it there, get it delivered back, all of it, all in, $670. To me, that's actually a really, really, really low price. It's a really fair price for me, right? I've owned, this is the fourth Ducati that I own, and generally I would take my Ducati back to the dealership to get all the service done, where they charge an absurd amount, $185 an hour. So I am used to paying significantly more than that to get less work done. To put it in perspective, some of the work that I got recently done involved installing a phone charger, putting on a piece for the windshield, and I think there's one other thing that I did, and just those things together were $400, right? And that's before my first service. The first service was $450, and that's basically an oil change. They check the clearances, they make sure everything is good. So all that to say, for everything that I got, including new parts, including picking it up and getting it delivered, amazing. Unfortunately, I don't actually know the name. Maybe it's called Ducati something. I know the guy. I just text the guy personally. It's called Mobile Ducati Service. If you're in Houston, Texas, and you own a Ducati, I highly recommend it. I think he also services BMWs and other things and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the footage off of this. I am very excited to share what this audio sounds like. One thing that I will caveat is I did not take my field recorder. I don't know where it is. I don't even know where it is, but I didn't take my field recorder. So all of the audio was recorded through the DJI Mic 2, connected to my Sennheiser MKE2, whatever the hell that mic is called, and then straight into the camera here. So yeah, there's no audio syncing that I need to do or any of that kind of stuff. In addition to that, I also have video that I recorded on my phone. And we're gonna have to figure something out with that, because I thought I was gonna do an edit, but it's all in HDR, but nothing else is in HDR. And I don't really know how you combine HDR and SDR content in a single timeline in Final Cut Pro. If any of you know how to do that, for what it's worth, I use Final Cut Pro 10. If you are an expert, or if you're someone who knows more than I do, which is very likely, and you know how to do this, let me know. But let's go ahead and jump into the screen share, and we're going to connect some things up and get some things underway. And I'll share some of the footage that I captured earlier today, and maybe we'll edit some of it. We'll see how things go. All right, so we're gonna create a new actually, we're not gonna do it this way. I'm gonna take my template, which I have somewhere. Here we are, FCX projects, my template alias, and we're gonna do a motovlog template. So we'll just copy that off. And I gotta unlock it. And technically, I don't know if I want to call this a motovlog, but we'll call it that for now. All right, so we'll call this motovlog 16, maybe. I have no idea which motovlog I'm on, so I gotta go look to see. And that's the wrong folder. Come on, Nas. Why are you being nasty, Nas? Ugh. All right, fine. I'm gonna go to YouTube. Maybe I'll figure it out on YouTube faster. So we'll go to my studio, which apparently you're not supposed to show to people, but Zero Flux here. All right, and then we're gonna go to my videos, and we'll go to here, 16. Okay, so I was wrong. This is motovlog 17. All right, we'll go ahead and get this popping. All right, we're gonna put all of the video files inside of the Action 4A role because I have no other content, so this is gonna be really easy. And why did it rename itself? This should be DJI Action 4A, I think. That's what I think I named these things. Oh, whoa. That's wrong. This should be my MPC Live. That's what this is, MPC Live. All right, so apparently my, oh, okay, I had to tap the little thing to say mount. That explains a lot. All right, so we got Action 4A. Yeah, so that's the name. Cool. We'll go into where all of the content lives, and all of this is today, and I only care about these 3 files here. And let's find my 17. We're gonna just dump this inside of a role right there. Now this is gonna take a moment, several moments actually. So while this is taking moments of our lives to work, we're gonna go on ahead and go to our photos. And yes, I need to add these. Which one do I need to add? Is it this one? No, is it this one? I have to see, actually. I really don't know. Okay, no, it's not this one, but maybe I will go ahead and click all of these and just say add to SFV4 or whatever. I'm going to assume that it won't actually create. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no wonder. I'm already in the thing. No wonder I'm dumb. Haha. Stupidity. All right. So where did we go? So we got here. Not there. Not there. All right. So that's it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and add all of these to SF, whatever that is, install. And we can go and look at some of this stuff and see what we're looking like. So here is my new exhaust. I know it's blown out for y'all. This is HDR footage, just deal with it. But, or get a HDR monitor. But yeah, this is the new exhaust. It's pretty dope. This is iPhone footage, just FYI. So we gotta get a tune. That should be here in a couple days. And it'll be complete. By the way, the bike is not on. That's not my bike running. Let's get it started. It's about to be working though. It don't, honestly, listening to it here does not do it justice. It doesn't do it justice. It still sounds better than stock, which I don't remember what that sounds like, but hopefully I had the foresight to like get what that sounds like, maybe. Knowing me, I didn't. Knowing me. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I do know myself. Look, oh, I did get it. How you doing?
Good. How you?
I'm all right. The mechanic is here to pick up my bike.
You what?
Mechanic is here to pick up my bike.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ridiculous. Almost off. So, but like, I was going on, but like, I was in. That's my neighbor, by the way. She was asking about my bike. She's like, I haven't seen your bike, or what are you about to do with your bike? I'm like, I'm about to get exhaust installed. And she was like, yes, you should. It's safer.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Sweet. So is it a big difference?
Well, I don't know yet. We'll see. This light is full titanium.
Nice.
So all of this is going away. All right, let's see what it sounds like when I started it up. I think I started it up. Yeah, I did. Night and day. One sounds like a sewing machine generator. The other one sounds a little more proper, like a motorcycle should sound, I think. All right, cool. So we are still awaiting this to do its thing. I guess it's gonna take forever. So one thing that I may want to do is figure out why my music isn't playing anymore. Let's figure that out. I had music playing. I don't know what happened. It just stops. We'll do some background jams. Maybe I need to do repeat. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I didn't have it on repeat. All right, taking forever. So while this is taking forever, I am going to look through some of the footage that I copied over to the NAS yesterday, which I think is for August. Did I not do that? Ah, okay. I put it in the wrong directory. I see what happened here. So we're going to put this in the correct directory. And this exhaust install, this seems 24. Yeah, this is in the wrong directory too. This goes there. Okay. All right. You know what? I may as well get some of these streams moved over as well before I forget. So that's going to be here. And let's drag this out so we can see dates. So these are all July, but they're recordings. I don't know if I care about those, or maybe I do care about these. Ecamm live recording. What the hell is this? See what I
you were saying, well,
oh, okay. This is documentation office hours that I host. Okay, so I don't need this. This is footage that I'm editing on that other computer, so I actually need to pull that off. What is this?
Morning, Will.
Okay, another developer office hours or documentation office hour. And this looks, yep, another one. We'll go ahead and delete that. I upload these to my company's YouTube channel, so there's no need for me to keep it here. We'll delete that. I don't know what that is.
Largest single day.
Okay, not sure what's going on there. All right, so I think all of these are streams from this month. And then we'll create our streams. Let's spell it correctly. Create all of our streams for this month here. 8. Yeah, that looks about right. Oh, and I guess these two are for here. So we'll put this back in July. Not sure what's up with these names. It's kind of annoying that it doesn't name these things the way that I would expect them to be named. That there. All right, so that's going. Are we? And we're still waiting on this A roll to copy over. It's going really slow. Oh, all right. So while that happens, let's go ahead and connect to my laptop, Zeus. And I think I put it on my desktop. I hope I did at least. One signal fixing it. Yeah, I did. Look at that. So this is a video that I was editing. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and move this over to FCX projects here. We'll just move this on over. And this is going to be slow because it's copying over the network, but my MacBook Pro is connected via the wireless network, which is a separate sub network. So it's going to go at the fastest that I can do on wireless, which I think is like 800 megabits per second. It's not as fast as you'd expect. Although it seems to be moving fast. Is it missing content? Yeah, the content's not here. What the hell? Oh, no, it is there. Okay, never mind. All right. And it sounds like some other things have finished, so things should be moving along. All right, perfect. So that was fast enough. Let's open this up. So this is a video that I started editing when I was flying to Richmond, Virginia last weekend, and most of it's done. This is when I was fixing my email. My email broke as a result of Google. They sold off Google domains to Squarespace, and I didn't do any of the things. I kind of ignored it. And when it went over to Squarespace, they couldn't charge my credit card because of the fact apparently they don't have my number or something. I don't know. I tried to fix it on Squarespace. I failed at it several times, got pissed off. I decided to just switch to Cloudflare to manage my domain. So my email is working again, thankfully. But yeah, I had to work for it. So this video is the work that I did part of the work that I did to actually get it fixed. And why is this taking forever? It really has to validate all these. I can't even use these. Maybe I should delete all the audio units for UAD since I don't ever use them for anything. I only use the DSP on the device, so I never really run it natively. Oh, everything is taking so goddamn long. So while that's taking long and forever, let's delete all of that. So we're done. And then I think I'm also going to delete this, but I'm going to keep this project around. Or maybe I'll just delete it. I don't know. Yeah, these sounds right here. I couldn't put my sounds here, so I got to find another SD card. Or I got to mount my MPC directly. Which, because all of my machines are on a network, it's actually kind of easy because it's connected to my laptop over there. All I had to do is SSH into my laptop over there. Which, by the way, the music that you're hearing is playing from my MacBook Pro over there, routed through the MPC. So really all I had to do is log in over there, turn the MPC into control mode, and then I can mount it to that computer. And then once it's mounted to that computer, I can then mount it on this computer. And then I can move files back and forth all willy-nilly. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's hope. Oh shit. I was gonna say let's hope that this works. I didn't have high hopes, and I'm glad I didn't. So if you ever get this particular thing, this error, which honestly happens a lot. I remember when I first started using Final Cut Pro years ago, like a decade ago, more than a decade ago. I would always see this and I would never understand it. And I would always just end up starting an entirely new project. These days, I'm not about that. I actually know how to do things now. So if you ever see this, just go to this file, relink files and original media. And then you can find the folder path. You don't even have to go all the way down into the directories. You just find the folder path and it'll find it. So we'll say locate all. Oh, it didn't do it this time. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong project. The project that we are looking at is not the one that I just created, but the one that is copied. So it's this one right here. So it's going to look for it. You see here, relink files is relinked. We're all good. Open up the project. We can see everything. I've lost my email and I had to get it back. I figured out that my domain name was transferred to Squarespace. All right, so I think this is a little bit too long of a space right there. I'm gonna just tighten that up just a little bit, and we'll tighten this up a little bit too. I've lost my email and I had to get it back. I figured out that my domain name was transferred to Squarespace as a result of a sell by Google Domains. Let's see if we can find anything on that. I was transfer it over to Squarespace from. Why does it? Oh, okay. I see what I did. All right. I'm like, why do I see? I don't see any of my cuts. So what did I just do? Why did I wait? I'm confused. Why did I just do that? Okay. I'm done. All right. Cool. So I should have did it here. I've lost my email and I had to get it back. Cool. So yeah, we'll do that. Chopping up here. I wish I knew the keyboard shortcut to select this part right here. That would make my life so much easier. I figured out that my domain name was transferred to Squarespace as a result, oops, of a sell by Google Domains. Let's see if we can find anything on that. I was transferred over to Squarespace from Google Domains, and I guess my payment information was, and I guess. Oh, what? Wait, what? And just happened? I guess we don't need this. And I guess my payment information was transferred over as well, but that information is no longer valid. As a result, I didn't see any of the emails because I think they canceled my domain and my email is tied to that. So as a result, I've lost all email. Now I have tried to what's up, Jimmy? How you doing?
The domain from Squarespace.
I mean, it's on brand though, right? It's on brand. Google kills fucking everything. Everything. And it's not just Google. It's I think publicly traded companies kill everything. They kill themselves. They kill their products. They kill the customer experience. They kill goodwill. They kill everything. They kill themselves, which is why the modern day public company is fairly short-lived. I think there are very few publicly traded companies that have stood the test of time. When I say standing the test of time, I'm not talking about, oh, okay, you've been here for like 50 years. I'm talking about we haven't had any company that I know of that's lasted for 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, 250 years, 300 years, 400 years. None of that. Now, that may be an unfair expectation, but still, all that to say is that I think that all companies kill their products.
That this should be easy.
But tech companies are the worst, especially
Google.
Google.
For me. But I tried to purchase the domain here. And
so I think this is actually edited, if I'm not mistaken. I think I finished this on the plane. I made it a point to be like, I'm going to finish this shit.
Email.
Let me confirm. Yeah, it looks like I did confirm here. Now, I don't know if I edited this yet, now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think I edited that. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, man. This is one thing that I wish I can do. Like, if I can combine these two clips, because they're the same clip, I accidentally did this in the wrong place, and now I don't know how to fix it. So I guess I'm gonna do a weird cut. I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna make something work. So while this is doing that, let's create a new library so we can do the thing that I actually wanted to do, which is listen to what my exhaust sounds like from my helmet microphone. So we're going to create a new library. We're going to do, where is it going to be at? Inside of here, and then it's going to be Motovlog. Oh, actually, it's here. Never mind, tripping. I forgot I created the project already as a part of my template. So we'll rename this 17, and then let's go ahead and open it. All right, and now that this opened, we got to take all of the video, which is just one thing, and just import it that way. All right, we got our edit. We got, okay, it looks like I started from my apartment, which is dirty, but that's okay. We'll put our endpoint here, add that to the thing. And then here's where I actually started up the bike. Let's delete this other shit because I don't care about this other shit right now. I just want to hear what it sounds like. I hope y'all are ready for this. I'm going to turn down my MPC. Yeah, I think negative 28 is good. See what we sound like.
All right, so all right, let's get this thing started.
It sounds good here too.
Sounding real good.
It sounds good. It sounds good here too. The whole split from being customer focused to being customer and shareholder focused. It's not customer and shareholder focused. Hold on, let me turn this down. It's not customer and shareholder focused. It's shareholder focused. There is no customer focus. This idea, the concept that you can have focus on more than two things is a fallacy. That's not how focus works. Focus is on a point. And I'm going to go into photography because that's easier for me to explain it in that way. But you have one subject that you focus on unless that subject is on the same focal plane or on the same level or in the same space. There is no, I'm going to focus on this and then focus on that. That's not how it works. So you're either going to focus on your shareholders or you're going to focus on your customers. Publicly traded companies, by law, they have to focus on shareholders. It's their fiduciary duty. They can be sued. The board members can be voted out. The CEOs can be voted out. Like, they can be voted out. So effectively, they have to prioritize shareholder value. They don't answer to you, right? Now, if you own shares, technically they answer to you, but unless you have a lot of shares, which most of us don't, they don't answer to you, right? So even though I may have shares in a lot of these tech companies, I don't have BlackRock shares. Like, I don't have the country of Japan, like their sovereign wealth fund or anything. I don't have any of that kind of shit. So yeah, they answer to the people who have the most shares. And if you want them to answer to you, well, you got to buy the most shares so that you get the most voting rights. So then your vote counts for more than everyone else's and all that kind of good stuff. All right. Because it's mostly old peeps that hold stocks. They are short-term thinking because they don't have much longer here. And C-suite is pressured to tend to them. Well, I don't agree. You assume that older people just bought their stocks and that they didn't buy them 20 or 30 years ago. There is that. People who actually have money and a portfolio at that age are not people who started late. They're generally the people who've been, financially planning their life, their retirement from a very young age. And they probably have been investing for a very long time, because if you are truly investing, it is a long time. Like, if you're one of these people where you buy some shares and you sell it the same year or the next year, you're not an investor. You are trading. You are literally, you're speculating. That's what you're doing. Investing is, for the most part, why would you even sell? That's my idea. Now, you may be forced to sell, which, things do happen in life where you may be forced to sell. And hopefully you're not forced to sell in an environment like we are. Like we are in right now would be not bad time to sell because stocks are at all-time high. But imagine if you bought your stocks today. Let's say you bought like 100 G's worth of stocks or whatever. Well, that's probably a bad time because things may go down. So if you're looking at it at the short term, you are going to lose money. But if you look at it a long enough time scale, like, you're not gonna lose money. So in my case, I've been investing for 15 years, I think. About 15 years now. And for the most part, the only stocks that I sold were my Tesla shares, which I think I kind of regret now. I sold them. I made a shit ton of money. All right. Let's be real. I'm not talking about I made $5,000. I mean, I made a lot. But had I not sold my shares, I did the calculation. You should never do this. It would have been worth about $7 million had I not sold them. I still made a lot. But having $7 million is a little bit more fun than what I got, which I won't say what it is. But yeah, not a great time. Japan just nuked the market. To be fair, Japan didn't truly nuke the market. The market is inflated. It's not real. So what you're seeing are fake inflated prices that the stocks don't really have the underlying value that they're being valued at. The reason why Japan was in those stocks is because they're chasing yield. They have to chase yield because interest rates are higher and banks don't make money unless they can get yield on the spread between the interest rates from the Fed and the interest rates that they're generating from their financial instruments that they go on and sell. So they had to, they're kind of forced to. And, it's going to cause other issues because they're not the only folks who are chasing yield. Most most banks have to find yield somewhere. They have to make money. Otherwise, it's not a good business. Businesses have to make money, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you think about it. They have to make money. So, like, what do you do when you're a bank? And the only things that you can really do is make loans, essentially, or sell financial instruments. Well, you got to hope that those financial instruments are paying a yield, or high yield. But the thing with high yields means that it comes with high risk, which means that you're going into riskier and riskier and riskier. I'm going to call them bets, because you have to. Because if you don't, you're losing money. And if you're losing 1, 2, 3% on 150 billion, half $500 billion, that's a shit ton of money. That's a shit ton of money. So, you know, they're doing what they have to do. It's not going to work out too well because honestly, things are overvalued. It is what it is. Things are just overvalued. Yeah, we know. Well, you got the bag. Well, I don't have the bag. The bag is somewhere else. I'm broke. Remember that. I am broke. I have no money. I have nothing. I don't even. Yeah, I live off of minimum wage. I live off minimum wage. I'm over here broke. Let's see here. Let's see what we sounding like though. Let's go to Midway somewhere right here, maybe. Wait. Oh, this is downtown. Okay, so let's go before I got on downtown, because I did go on one of these freeways, even though it was traffic. I did find a way to get on the freeway. Find it right here. Okay, we'll come here.
Getting on the freeway, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's all that traffic. I was like, man, fuck that. Not getting on that.
Lens, but that's definitely traffic.
All right, let's. I want to hear it loud. Let's turn it up a little bit.
So no freeway going that way.
It sounds so good. Yeah, it sounds like an actual motorcycle now. I'm not even gonna lie, it sounded like a bitch ass bike.
Like there may be some type of accident.
When I first got it, I was just like, man, like when he turned it on, I looked at him, I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Oh my god.
Sounding weak as fuck.
Mean. This sounds nice. Like what I imagine a Street Fighter should sound like.
It's not even tuned, so it will be better. And it should sound a little bit different once the tune comes in, with more pops, burbles, and all that kind of shit, cracks. Oh yeah, this is gonna sound good. You know what? Before I want to see what this is gonna sound like with my little presets that I've built. So let's see which one is it? DJI mic. Ah shit. Why do I have? I thought I cleaned these up. I guess I didn't. All right, let's also put on the Action 4 night. Oh, that's not how I did it. Action dark with noise reduction. Action night. We'll put action. Yeah, we'll do action night. All right, now let's find the other one, because I did another run somewhere. Right here. All right, so what I'm realizing is that because this is meant for my recorder to also be on, I've taken out all of the low end energy. So I'm gonna re-add it back in. So let's bring this cut down to 50 hertz. All right, let's do 40 hertz. For those of you who have subs, I have a sub, so we'll do 40. Okay, let's turn on voice isolation. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the suspension feels amazing. That was the real reason why I had it sent off, and then it turned into, let me go ahead and buy all these other things. Spend the money now, just get it over with. For what it's worth, this is -9 dB of gain from my system. So if this is loud for you, just imagine what this is like when it's all the way up after I've done all of my audio, all that audio stuff that I like to do sometimes. I think I do a bit of a run here into the higher rev range somewhere after all this traffic, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe I'm just dreaming all the time. Oh, dude, this right here is funny as hell. Hold on, I gotta let me find the zoom. This right here was funny as hell. This dude was getting it. Let's come here, and where are my zooms? Actually, the zooms won't be there. They'll be over here. I'm tripping. So, what are they called? I really wish that these were bigger so I can read this. This is tiny. Pro zooms. Okay, yeah, we'll do a pro zoom. We'll do a pro zoom right here. Okay, wait, but that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Oh shit. Okay, I'll do a little bit of a cut here. And we'll throw it on the clip because it's an effect. That's why it didn't work. So he like comes over here. So let's play that. See what that looks like.
That's a street crossing if I've ever seen one.
Look at him. Like this dude, he getting it. This dude straight up, he just getting it, bro.
He getting it. Oh man. I guess I'm the camera guy.
I legit was looking around to see if there was a TikTok camera person. I'm like, this dude is going too hard. That dude going too hard to not be recorded right now. And then I had some random girls trying to talk to me. I'm like, I can't hear you. Trying to talk to me and shit. See if I can find them. They were over here trying to have a full... I wonder if y'all can hear them though. They over here trying to have a full ass conversation and shit. I think it was right here. Yeah, this must have been it. I was just like, what? Let's see if I can hear him. Cause I couldn't hear him.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear. I got.
I just heard laughing. I don't know what they were saying. Maybe they were just saying, "Hey." Ooh, ooh, oh! It's out. Oh man. I did a run during through the tunnel too. So this is gonna be like a bit of a takeoff. I didn't really go too hard because, you know, like I gotta be a little safe. I can't be out here risking limb. All right, let's go here. We don't need to see all this waiting.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so good.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. This is it. This makes a bite.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Oh shit.
And it's so much more comfortable. Oh my god, like the suspension adjustment, night and day difference. Night and day difference. It's worth more than however much money I paid for it. Like night and day. It feels like a new bike. Seriously, it feels like a new bike. I feel like I can ride it for even longer now. See these cops over here pulling out. No fucks given, of course. All right, let's go on to one of these tunnels that I go through. Get some sounds. Yeah, last minute I decided I'm going to take this tunnel so I can get me some noise action. See what it sounds like underneath this bridge right here. And yes, I am downshifting just for this bridge. Yeah, I need to have my recorder. I think that's what I need to do. I need to have my recorder. It looks like I don't get to the tunnel in this clip, so it must be in another clip, I guess. So let's go ahead and move that to here. We'll go to this other clip and let's just copy. Oh God. We'll copy all of the whatever those are, the effects, all that stuff, and we should be able to paste them here. I thought. Wait, how come I can't paste it? Edit, paste, effects. There we go. Let's see here. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Jizzing in my pants.
Oh my gosh. I definitely need to bring the recorder out here.
That sounds good.
To get the sound of the exhaust resonating out of that tunnel.
Man, I'm about to be a menace out here now. All I need is my tune and some leathers that fit. I got to return my race suit. It's too short. It like come tall. The sleeves don't come all the way down to my wrist, and the legs don't go down to my ankle. They kind of stop. They're like capris almost. So I'm gonna have to send them back, and I'm likely gonna have to get a custom made suit, which means that I'm not about to get it anytime soon. So I guess the silver lining is I'm about to get $2,500 back, I guess, because the suit don't fit. And they won't exchange it for a larger size. They're like, no, you just got to return it and then rebuy it. But I got it for 30% off. I'm not about to pay full price for shit. Not about that. I'll do another pull right here. Or maybe I don't. I thought I did. Yeah, sounds good though. It sounds good. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm happy with the exhaust. I got the SC Project S1 exhaust, full titanium, incredibly light. I think it weighs only like 7 pounds or something ridiculous. So I do save weight. I save at least 10 pounds, but I think it's more like 12 because there's some other things that I got to pull off, like all the servos, all the things that connect, all that stuff. So there are some things that are no longer on it. Obviously, I saved a few grams because of the new bar and weights are a little bit lighter. They're like 140 grams lighter. So multiply by 2. That's a quarter of a kilo, which, that's something. It's not nothing. Not nothing. Let's see here. What did you do to the new suspension, new dampers, or no, nothing. It was just adjusted. So Ducatis, the Street Fighters, they have fully adjustable suspension. It's electronic, but you can adjust the preload, the rebound, the compression. Wait, not compression. What do you call it? The damping. Like you can do all that. Like they have dials that you can adjust on the 2 forks, and then on the bottom, and then on the rear shock, where you can like adjust the preload for the spring. So they adjusted it for my weight. I'm about 215 pounds. With gear on, I'm about 225. With all of my gear, obviously. So yeah. So what they did is his son is about 200 pounds or so. So they just put a backpack on him and put a bunch of shit in the bag for him. And then they adjusted it using, you got to measure how much suspension travel there is, how much it rebounds up, like how much it comes up to sag. You got to measure all that. So they measured all that and then dialed it in, and night and day difference. I wasn't there. It's in Conroe, and I know you don't know Houston very well, but Conroe is far as fuck. It may as well be Dallas to me. It's not as far as Dallas, but it may as well be to me. So I wasn't gonna go out there, which is why I had them come and pick up the bike, because I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be a lot of effort for me to go out there, because it wouldn't be a single trip. What I would have to do is take my car, get the box that has the exhaust, drive it to Conroe, which is like an hour away, going a relatively fast rate of speed. And then I would have to drive back here. So that's 2 hours just to go there, come back at a high rate of speed. And then once I've done that, I have to ride my motorcycle to Conroe. Now, because I ride my bike to Conroe, it's going to be hot. You can't install an exhaust with it hot. And it's going to take hours, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours for it to cool off. So like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there in Conroe for 18 hours while we wait on, I don't know, maybe not 18 hours, maybe 10 hours while we wait on all this stuff? Nah. So I would have had to take an Uber, because I'm definitely not about to just sit there for that long. Take an Uber to Houston, to where I live in the middle of Houston. And Uber is expensive as fuck now. Just to get to the airport, $70. $70 to get to the airport, when it used to be $24, $25. So I can only imagine what it would cost to go to Conroe. In fact, I'm about to see what it costs to go to Conroe. The price is going to be lower now because of the time of day, I think. But I'm about to see what it would cost to go to Conroe right now. And in fact, this is, actually, let's see here. Conroe, Texas. Okay. Oh, it's not that bad right now. So for Comfort Uber, it's only $50 right now. I don't know what it would be like during the daytime when I would need to do it. So I guess it's not too bad. That's not that bad. But still, that's $100 just to get there and then come back. And I had to do that twice. Whereas with what I did now, it was just I paid $100 for them to come and pick up the bike and take it there and then bring it back. To me, that's much better. Safer. I don't have to deal with, being on 45, doing 45 things, you say Conroe? Oh, my bad. I thought you said you weren't from here. I thought you were from Washington or something, Seattle. Does the keychain say F your feelings? Yes, it does say that. Except it doesn't technically say F your feelings. It doesn't really say that. It's a dude humping your feelings. It's slightly different, slightly different. Ah, shit. Why am I opening up Lightroom? I have to open up Final Cut Pro. I don't know why I closed Final Cut to begin with. Go away. Yeah. I want to quit. Where'd you see that? Oh, I guess you saw it right here. Yes, it does say that. It does say F your feeling. In fact, I don't know why I'm looking on a video. I have the key over there. Let me go get the key. I'll be back. So as you can see, maybe you can't see. Let me turn on my light. See, it don't really say F your feelings. It just says, it's just a guy. It's a little stick figure. And he's just humping your feelings. He's humping your feelings. So if you want to interpret it as fuck your feelings, you're free to do so. Whatever helps you sleep at night. That's what I'm going to go with that. Conroe. I live in Washington right now. I lived in Cypress. Oh, okay. I see. So you are from Texas. I used to live in Cypress too. When I first moved back to Houston from San Antonio, I lived in Cypress for 2 or 3 years. I thought about moving back out there, and then I was just like, man, I don't know. I'll just stay where I'm at. But I should have moved out there. I could save so much money, because where I'm at now, my rent's damn near once I pay all the bills and shit, it's $4,000 a month. So I could have moved out to wherever you're talking about, Cypress, and probably I could buy a house now too if I wanted. But I could have rented. I don't want to buy a house. That to me, buying a house is dumb if I'm the only one living in it. I know that some people are like, oh, I gotta buy a house. To me, that's dumb. Like, to me, a house is to raise a family because you have a lot of people. You need a lot of space because, you know, there's other costs that come with home ownership. And I don't want to be paying those costs unless I have a family, which I don't. So I'm like, I'll just get like a 1-bedroom apartment, maybe 2 bedrooms so I can have a second office. But I think I can get a 2-bedroom apartment in Cypress for like $1,600, $1,500, something ridiculously low. But the problem is that they're not the kind of apartments that I want to live in. Like, they all have stairs that are outside, which I don't do that. The garage is not, honestly, most of them don't even have garage. They have like those outdoor parking lots. I don't like to live in those types of areas. And then it's just too far because my grocery store that I shop at, I'm not going to stop shopping at the grocery store that I've been shopping at for the past decade. It's just not going to happen. There's not really, there are no other competitors in where I am. And you should, if you lived here, you know HEB. If you know HEB, you know that there are different levels of HEB. You have regular HEB, you have HEB Plus, and then you have Central Market. I shop at Central Market almost exclusively, except for things that I can't find at Central Market. I will go to the HEB, which is, there's another HEB just right down the street over here, which I think is a HEB Plus. Out in Cypress, they got basic ass HEB. like basic ass shit. They don't have anything that I want. No, they don't have any of the exotic fruits and vegetables that I like, and all the different varieties of apples and oranges or citrus and peppers and fresh herbs and fresh squeezed juice and just all of this stuff. Like, they don't have Wagyu beef. That's generally what I like to eat for if I'm going to eat a steak. They don't have dry aged beef. They don't have the highest quality. Like, they don't have Chilean sea bass. They don't have shit out there. I know because I used to live out there. So as a result, I would end up having to drive all the way to here to go grocery shopping. And the nearest Costco, even though it's not far, it's so much further than the Costco than where I am. Like, I can see the Costco from here. I can technically walk to it. It'd be a 25-minute walk, but I can walk to it if I want to. I don't. But no, drive to the Costco is a 2-minute drive. And that's assuming I get stopped at a light. So it's like, and that's also assuming there's slight traffic. It's 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes drive. So yeah, for me, it wasn't worth it because my time is worth more than money. Straight up. Like, I mean, at a certain point, dollars don't mean as much to you. Your time becomes more important to you because you recognize that you have finite time. Dollars are infinite. You don't believe me, just ask the Fed how come they keep printing money. That shit ain't infinite. Like, you can always make money. You can always make more money. I cannot make more time, so I prioritize my time. So yeah, that's why I'm still here, even though it's a stupid amount of money in rent. Even though the quality of the building, the tenants are down. Like, we got a bunch of ninjas here now, like low class people. And you could tell people who are low class and they knew the money, but they don't really make money like doing anything respectable. They make money from selling drugs or doing OnlyFans or doing e-pimping or doing adult content, adult entertainment. Basically that. We got a lot of people like that living here, and it's disgusting. I hate them. Like, I literally hate them. I'm like, I did not work my ass off to get out the hood to be living with these same motherfuckers. I'm sorry if I don't like them. I fucking hate them. But, you know, I guess I gotta do is, you know, I'm not willing to pay the $11,000 a month to not be around them right now. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Cause I could move right across over there on the other side of the street and get me a nice 3-bedroom. It's like 2,400 square feet for, you know, a condo or whatever. It's not as tall. Like, I would only be on like the 7th or 8th because I think it's only 11 floors. But yeah, like that is, it was $11,000. I don't know what it costs now. Let's see what it costs now. Cause maybe they've come back down to reality. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. Let's take a look. Do something right. It is on West Alabama. Yeah, these right here. So you can buy them. Yeah. Yeah. So this is it. So I'm like, I'm just not willing to. Like, I don't know. I told myself that until I have $5 million in the bank, Probably technically not 5 million until my net worth is 5 million. I don't really give a shit if it's in cash, but until I have like just 5 million, just set, I am not willing to spend this kind of money. In fact, for 1.7 million, I probably want 7 million in assets before I'm willing to spend that kind of money. Because here in Texas, we have to pay property tax, and property tax is down near 2% here in Houston. And 2% on $1.7 million is not an insignificant amount of money. And that's before you get into the HOA, which this has a HOA. That's before you get into insurance and all the other things, interest on the mortgage, all that other shit. So as a result, I need like 5-7 million before I'm willing to spend this. Now, that's not to say that you need that much money to buy this right here. Oh shit, it's even more now. Back when I was looking at this, it was like 10,500 or something like that. And I thought about it. I did think about it. I thought about it. Looking back, I think I am very glad that I didn't do it. I'm looking at it now. Wait, hold on. Am I glad or wait, let me see. Or am I coping? Let's look at it. I'm glad. Yes, I am glad. I would be losing money right now because back when I was looking at it, they wanted a lot. And now looking at these values, yeah, I don't think this is going to sell for nowhere near what they're asking. They're asking for damn near $700 a square foot. The HOA fee is not that bad though. It's $1,600, but that's still a lot. And yes, this place was built recently, so like that's why I was looking at it, because I had just moved over here, and when I moved to this place, this was meant to be a temporary move to wait for my house, because I was gonna get one. Then I thought about it. I was like, you know what, fuck that. Like this rent is so cheap. Well, at the time, it was relatively cheap to me. I was just like, man, why would I go out here and pay this kind of money for a house? So I said, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna stay here. And ended up staying here. It's not too bad. 48K. Wait, what are we talking about? 48K. Wait, what are we talking about? Is the Skyline view worth? I don't know. It is to me. Like I don't like small spaces. And given that I work from home, I don't know if you recognize that. I work from home. I've worked from home since 2015. And I've been on remote teams since 2012. So I do a lot of work from home. So given that I spend so much time here, I need to like where I am. I need to like my environment. I love natural light. I love all that kind of shit. So having these floor to ceiling glass windows and these 11-foot ceilings, it helps because I'm here all day. I don't feel cooped up. And then when I want to get a breath of fresh air, I just go out to my giant ass balcony and I can go out there and work from out there. I have furniture out there. Sometimes I'll cook out there. I do my jump roping out there. Sometimes I'll do my yoga out there. Sometimes there are other like plyometrics that I'll do out there. So yeah, to me it's worth it. But I mean, that's because I value looking at the sunset or the sunrise every single day. That's because I value going out into my balcony and just hanging out and sitting on my balcony for hours. So to me, yes, it is definitely worth it. But to others, probably not. To others, it's probably not worth paying the amount of money that you have to pay to live on a higher floor. So this same unit, if I were to go to floor 10, which that's actually not even the lowest floor. If I were to go to floor 6, which I think is or 7, I think that's the lowest residential floor with this unit, with this particular unit. I think that it's $700 cheaper just by going down to the low floor. So, there are obviously people who live here who have this same unit who are paying significantly less money than me, but they have a lower floor. And maybe they don't value, having a view as much as I do, to where they're willing to pony up the extra money to live up high. But yeah, for me, definitely worth it. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't been in a rush to get a house, because I don't want to have to deal with living on the fucking ground. Like there's roaches down there, there's rats down there, possums, like all of the shit that I don't want to deal with and that I haven't dealt with in damn near 7 years. I don't have mosquitoes up here. I don't have flies. There are no roaches. There are no rats. There are no possums. There's none of that shit. Like there are no raccoons. I don't have to worry about anything. There are no frogs hopping around. I'm not saying I'm afraid of these things, but I don't want to deal with them. Like I like them where they are, down there. I don't really have to worry about birds shitting all over everything. To me, it's worth it. Also, when it rains, I can be out on my balcony while it's raining and don't get wet. So a lot of times I'll just sit out there and just chill in the rain because I like the scent of the rain. I like the sound of the rain, and because I'm not getting wet, I'm like, yeah, I'll just hang out there. Some of the other things that are really cool is when it does rain, I can barely tell unless I look. I have to actually go outside and hear it. You can't hear it from inside. There's no water getting on my windows or anything like that. So yeah, there's some really cool things. Plus, when the power goes out here in Houston, I'm sure you heard about that. That happens sometimes. That happens in other areas. That don't happen here. When the power goes out here, it's like for a couple minutes, maybe an hour max. But generally, it's a couple minutes. And the hour is like for the elevators, because the elevators are on a different power loop. But we have generators in here and all that kind of stuff, so I don't really have to worry about anything. It's secure. Like even if you knew where I live, you can't just come here. I mean, you can if you want, but you can't come up here. You can't get past the concierge. You can't really, and even if you got to my floor, like it's not like you can do much once you get to the floor, because we have these. I'm not gonna say what we have, but we have a different way of accessing our doors than normal doors. They're not just regular keys. And then if you were to make it inside my unit, you might just get blasted. I'm just being honest. I'm real talk. You might just get blasted. You might find out that I fucking live from Texas and I'm a true ass Texan. You might find out the hard way. Hopefully you don't have to. Hopefully none of y'all have to find out that, I am a Texan. I am a Texan. I may not like weapons, but you goddamn, I'll use it in a heartbeat. You mean houses don't always go up in value? Well, I'm going to say it this way. I don't think houses have ever gone up in value. I think houses go up in price. There's a difference. I don't think that houses are inherently more valuable today than they were 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago. I don't think that houses have become more valuable. I think the prices have gone up. And I think that the price going up is really a function of inflation. When you look at the inflation from like today to maybe like 100 years ago, the value of a dollar, it's gone down by like 97%. So yes, the nominal price of houses go up, but the value of your dollar, the purchasing power of your dollar goes down. So the price just goes up. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, I am saying that. I'm saying an even stronger statement that the value of houses never goes up. Just the price. And I don't like to conflate price and value. They are two different things. When you go to a store, you see prices. You don't see value. Generally, value is very, 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 very hard to assess. The best that we do is an estimate, and we call it the price. Like how can we price this value in this? Yeah. Anyway, we're getting into semantics now. AA-12 with the switches. Might get something else. Like it may not have to be a gun. I have other things. I won't get into the kind of person that I like. My intent is to hurt. I'm not one of these people where it's like, hey, I want an ego. Nah, my goal is to hurt you in ways that you've never been hurt before. Like, I want you to be hurt decades from now. But let's stop talking about that because I might get myself in trouble. You might find out that I'm not one of these average people who just, like, I stay here so that I don't hurt others. It's safer that way. I just stay here at home. Don't put myself in situations to do things because I don't believe in fairness. That's not a thing that I was brought up to believe. That's bullshit to me. Equality and fairness don't exist in here. They exist outside externally, but in here, I don't really accept that shit. It's like if we get into any kind of altercation, don't expect me to fight any kind of fair. Don't expect it. You might want to expect me to grab your nuts and twist them a little bit. You might expect me to eye gouge you. Like I'm dead ass. I'm not being facetious. I'm being dead ass. I'm not the kind of individual where you really want to do shit because my goal is to hurt you. It's not to win. It's to hurt you. And to me, like that's all that matters. Like, I'm the kind of person where it's like I am okay losing so long as we both lose. You see where I'm at? Like, as long as we both lose, to me that's a win. I don't think I'm the kind of individual who like you want to do that kind of stuff with because some people will go further than you think. Some people don't value life the same way as others. Some pushback on the house value not going up. With basic economics, there is the same or slightly increasing supply with drastically increasing demand, increasing population. This means value goes up. Are you implying that value is intrinsic in the object and not something that's that comes from the person? And another question. The basic economics that you're referring to, are you referring to Keynesian economics? Or are you referring to like other economic models? Because there are more economic models than just Keynesian economics. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the economics that you study in school is bullshit. Just saying. And there are a lot of reasons for that. For one, it's based off of models that are based in theory that are never really based in the real world. They assume that people are rational. People are not rational. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's like, oh, well, more people want it, therefore it's more valuable. But I don't think that's true. I don't think that by virtue of more people wanting it, that it's intrinsically more valuable. Here's why. A house is a house. Seriously, a house is a house. There is not really much that differentiates your house from my house. They all have the same features, the same traits, the same characteristics. Generally, I hope, here, at least in America, you're going to have walls, you'll have a floor, and you'll have a ceiling. Maybe you'll have some partitions within your square. You know, we all get a box. Maybe you'll partition your box, you know, but inherently there is not much that separates one house from another. So given that, you know, I'm not saying that they're fungible, because obviously, you know, houses have different location, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to pretend that houses don't have location. I'm going to say that for all intents and purposes, shelter is fungible. So I don't know if it goes, like, the value of it goes up just because more people want it. But maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it does. I'm still going to say no because inflation. Because of inflation. Now, housing prices may have gone up higher relative to inflation. Let's see. I actually don't know. Housing prices versus inflation. Okay, so here, look at this. You see how this right here was lock steady? And honestly, if you go back further, it was mostly lock steady. This right here was when interest rates went high, like really, really high during that the oil embargo and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, you see here that house prices follows inflation, which is why I say that it's mostly prices that are going up, not value. Now, you do see that this shit right here is happening. But there's also some other things that started happening during this period that causes this. And then obviously we had a crash because, you know, all this was bullshit. This is all fake. We had a crash and, you know, we were kind of okay for a little bit. And then this. This isn't sustainable. Just real talk. It's not sustainable when you even have people like me and people who make more than me. I'm doing okay in life when it comes to, you know, earning annual income, and I feel the increase in prices. And if I feel the increase in prices, I know that, you know, just your everyday Americans they're feeling it as well. And it's probably even worse than them because, it's probably even worse for them because they have to purchase certain things that I don't. Because I work from home, I don't have to deal with car maintenance. I don't have to deal with gas. Even, I know I have an electric vehicle, but even if I didn't, like, I still have to worry about tires and all that kind of, I don't have to worry about any of that because I work from home and because I rarely leave. You know, because I do a lot of I don't eat much, so I don't really have to eat. I don't have to spend as much money at the grocery stores. I don't have a family. So, you know, my groceries is just for me. I don't have to try to feed 3-4 people. So, you know, I don't have to deal with certain types of inflation. Certain insurances, like, I don't have to deal with insurance that much. Like, I have insurance on the Tesla and then I have my property insurance. But I mean, that's not that big of a deal for me. That's maybe like $500 a year for my policy. Whereas people who have home insurance, their home insurance have gone up 20, 30% over the past 3 years. These are real costs that people are having to bear. And it's not just that. The value of your home going up, this is why it's all a scam to me. The value of your home determines the taxes that you pay, the rent that you pay to the state. So you really don't own shit when you think about it. In fact, most people don't own shit. Like everyone who thinks that they own a home, they don't own their home. The bank owns their home. And even when they do get the title, the deed to their home, they still have to pay annual taxes. At least here in Texas, you got to pay annual taxes to keep your home. To me, that's rent. And in my mind, I'm just like, if I'm gonna do that, I may as well buy the places and then lease them out to others, and then I'll just live here. And that's really my plan. I didn't really plan to move from here for a while, but given that things are starting to deteriorate even more, I'll probably be out after this lease ends, which I signed an 18-month lease like a month ago. So I will be here for probably, I think, until January of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, January 2026. Which will effectively be the longest that I've ever lived in any place in my life. Even now, already, this is the longest place I've lived anywhere in my life, like in one place. Although technically, I'm being technical. This is my second unit in this building. I lived facing downtown when I was living here. When I first moved here in like 2018, I think I moved here in 2018. Let's see here. Some pushback. I see what you're saying. No, all right. I see what you're saying as well. And they're all models, right? So they're all approximations. But if we take a macro look at housing, when you apply Keynesian, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Keynesian economics assumes a free market. Are you trying to imply to me that we have a free market here in America? This is why that's fundamentally where I like go another way, right? Where it's like almost all economics, like they, even when they start, they say assume these things, and you just have to take these things as ground truth. To me, that's bullshit. That's not how an engineer thinks. It's not. I'm not gonna just assume shit. Oh yeah, just assume that we live in a make-believe perfect ass world. No, I'm not doing that. That's dumb. That's delusional. What I think is that most of these models are wrong as fuck because they assume a free market, and in America we don't have a free market. So in my mind, the models they're already on the wrong foot because they assume something that doesn't exist. So, it's not to say that we can't have a free market, but we don't have one. So until we have it, I don't know if I'll ever agree. No, that's not to say that we have to agree. It's not really that big of a deal to me. But at least you know why I don't agree. It's because we don't have a free market. Until we have a free market, I can never agree. You haven't been sharing your screen. Oh yeah, that's fine. I know that's because I'm talking to you now. Let's see here. How do you deal with moving so often? Do you just travel light or hire movers? I don't move that often. What do you see? What do you mean? To me, that's not that often. But when I used to move, I would move myself. I just pack up I'm a very organized person. So packing up my stuff is not that big of a deal. I normally begin my moving process a month before I actually start to move. So I'll pack up all my boxes the first 2 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks I'll start moving. Like I'll literally move. I don't move everything all at once. I'll move all my small shit, like stuff like this, get that set up in a new place, and I'll just have 2 places for a month. And I know that that's not something that a lot of people can do, but I've always made sure that I had enough money. And I'm not talking about recently. I'm talking about just since I graduated. I just made sure that I will always have enough money to move because that I used to have to move a lot. We were evicted a few times. I moved around a lot when I was younger. So I just kind of got in my mind that I'm never really going to be in a stable place. So as a result, I made sure that from like as soon as I could, I had enough money to where if I needed to move, I would have the money to do it. So, so it's still the kind of same thing. So these days, it's not just these days, it's been for the past, 12, 13 years, whenever I would move, it's the same process where it's like, all right, I'm going to have 2 leases for a month of overlap. That means I'm paying rent at 2 different places. Some people are like, oh, I'll never do that. I don't give a fuck. I'm more like I prioritize my comfort and all the other things more than money. Like I said, like there are things that are more important than money. And this has been the case for me for a long time. My comfort is more important than money. I'm not about to be out here trying to move everything in a day to save a couple $1,000s. To me, that's dumb. Like I really like do that and do it over a longer period of time. You know, you don't have to worry about getting injured. You don't have to worry about breaking anything. You don't have to worry about losing anything. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just kind of, do it as you go. And then by the time you're moved, you're moved. Like, maybe you spend another month kind of like, getting everything kind of in its rightful place that it's going to stay in. But, you're not having to have a disgusting house for weeks or months while you get situated. Like one thing I can't stand is clutter and disorganization. I just can't do it. So I have to plan things so that when I am going to go to somewhere else, that I don't have to deal with that. But this isn't something that I had to deal with for a while. And do you just travel light or hard movers? I don't know. I don't know if I travel light. I don't own anything that's lightweight, unfortunately. It's something that I think about because there was one point in my life where I was like, I will never have a bunch of shit. And yeah, because I used to have let's just say I was getting close to having a family, starting my own family kind of thing. And I had like couches, like a sofa, love seat, coffee table, ottomans. I had this desk, another desk, that desk over there, this chair, another chair, multiple computers, a dining room set, like actual dining room table, also counter tables, all of my cookware, clothes, like all these things, like a lot of shit. And after my split up, I got rid of a lot of shit. I just threw it. I didn't want it anymore. So I got rid of a lot of stuff and I downsized a lot. But yeah, fast forward to today, I now have a lot of shit. No, technically, it's not that I have a lot of shit. It's that I have the stuff that I have now is big. For instance, this artwork right there, that shit's big as fuck. You can't tell how big it is. A lot of people are very, very surprised when they see it in person. They're like, what the, I didn't realize it was that big. It's very large. So I got this credenza right here. This credenza is 400 pounds. It's 400 pounds. So it's like, it's big as fuck. It's like 96 inches long. Yeah, I think that's 96 inches long. It's 400 pounds. This desk here is like 82 or 84 inches long, the one I'm at right now. And with nothing on it, I think it weighs like 60 or 70 pounds with nothing on it. But with all the shit on it, it probably weighs damn near 200 pounds. Then that desk over there weighs like 80 pounds. I don't think you can see it. My TV stand, which is back over there, that TV stand's 300 pounds. I think it's 86 inches long. My bed is 400 pounds. So it's like, that's including the mattress because the Tempur-Pedic mattresses are heavy as fuck. So it's like, I have a lot of heavy shit. So it's not that I have I do have a lot of shit. I have too much shit. I think about selling stuff sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I just want someone to do it. I used to be that kind of person where it's like, I'm happy to do everything. But as I get older, I'm like, man, somebody else should be doing this. Like, I do enough. I do enough. It's like I maintain my house in order. I maintain my job. I know these are basic adult things, but I do it at a higher level than most people, obviously. I mean, I have things to show for it. Right? So it's like, I have all these things that I'm managing. I have companies and other things that I'm trying to build up. I have my own initiatives. I have this YouTube crap that I'm doing. I have my hobbies that I'm trying to do. So it's like I have a lot of stuff going on. And to think about just that is too much effort. It's just too much. How do you fit 96 inches into the elevator? We have freight elevators there. So the freight elevator is really, really big. Are you assuming that the elevators here, like the like basic elevators that you see in a normal office building? Because they're not. We have a legit freight elevator, which, everything that I have got up here through that freight elevator. Now, I will admit that certain things that I bought, like this credenza right here, I did not have this credenza when I moved here. So the people who delivered it, they brought that shit up. So when I move from here, I will hire movers. Fuck that. Like I'll pack up my own boxes. I'll move most of my own stuff. But like this big furniture right here, I'm not doing that. Nah, I'm gonna hire a bonded whatever, and they need to be insured because I'm gonna be looking for damages. You know, I don't like some of the stuff is very high end. I'm not about to just allow them to break my shit. I don't have a truck anymore, so I can't move certain things myself. Like I have a bench in my room that I don't know if I want to let movers move it. It's light. I can pick it up and move it myself, but it's big. I think it's like 96. I don't know how. Let's see how big it is. What is it? Bench. I forgot the names. Wait, Nelson bench. Yeah. So it's this Nelson bench. Let me see what size it is. I got the biggest size. That's why I can go here. Oh, it's 72. It's not that big. So it's only 72 inches. So yeah, I have this right here. It's not that heavy. I can easily move that myself. But it's like I have stuff like that. It's just heavy. Not heavy. It's just big. It's just big and bulky. There's no easy way to move it. It's not gonna fit in the Tesla. I would have to go get another truck or something, or use one of my friend's work vans. You know those work vans that have equipment in them. I could get one of my friends for bands and move stuff like that. Same with that TV. That TV is huge. It's heavy. It looks small from here, but it's an 80-inch OLED screen. It's heavy as fuck. It's heavy. You would not. It's so thin. You would not believe how heavy it is or how thin it is. It's like it's stupidly thin, but you're not picking that up alone. I thought I was, because I was trying to get it. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to have one of my neighbors help me. So when I had one of my neighbors come down and help me get it up, get it set up, and then get it put on that stand. Cause I tried. I was like, man, I'm big as hell. I can do this shit. I tried to do that. I was like, okay, all right. I think I've reached my limits. I can't do that. I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. All right, let me go back to my screen share. Are you saying that you didn't see this? I thought I was showing this. My bad if this is what you're referring to. But consumer price, median home price, they were in lockstep until here, right? So this right here shows me not free market. This is government meddling. That's what this is. That's what government meddling looks like, which is why I say it's really just the price of it. That's going up, not the value. That's what I was getting at. But yeah. To be real though, I'm not really worried about houses. I don't plan to buy a house for myself anytime soon. Now I may buy houses for rentals, but that's a very different calculation for me, because that's an asset. The house that you buy and live in, that's not an asset. That's actually an expense. And the fact that so many people are saying that it's an asset, it shows me that so many people are ignorant and undereducated of what an asset is. Assets produce cash flows every month, and they're not negative cash flows. Typically they earn you cash flow. They generate cash flow. If your house does not result in a check coming to you, it's not a fucking asset. It's an expense. But people are dumb and retarded for whatever reason. So they'll get into their mind that, oh, I'm about to go buy a house and it's an asset and oh, it goes up. But like, it doesn't go up. That's just you're thinking that it goes up. Like it only goes up once you sell it. And that's assuming, I'm saying like, assuming you sell it for a higher price than what you bought it. That's the only time that it goes up. But then most people don't account for how much in taxes they paid, how much in interest they paid to carry that particular house, how much money they spent in upgrades or improvements. They don't account for any of that shit, like, or any of the maintenance that you have to do, like, you know, getting the yard done or the HOA or the insurance that you pay. They just be like, oh, you know, I bought my house for $400,000 and then I sold it 10 years later for $600,000. And someone like me will actually go out and do the math and be like, you're at a net loss. It's just me. No, just because you make $200,000 doesn't mean that it's profit. It could just be revenue. And then once you account for all of your costs, you may realize that you are in the red. You're not in the black. So it looks like what I'm going to have is I'm going to publish at least one video this week. It may be two. I don't really know if this what is this? What we're looking at, this motorcycle, the new exhaust. I don't know if this is worse. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make it a video. I don't care anymore. Like, I'll put it out because what I found is that no one's gonna watch it anyway. So I may as well put it out there so I can watch it and be like, oh yeah, this is when I got my new exhaust. So I guess I'll have two videos coming out this week. One of them is already almost edited. The second one, honestly, I probably won't do much editing to this one. It'll probably just be a couple cuts and then post it as is, like all my other moto vlogs. And I also have some more streams that I may be doing fairly soon. I talked with not one of my managers. I talked with my manager and gave her a proposal. I was like, I want to build an application that uses like all of the features of OneSignal. Like web, mobile, email, SMS, all that stuff, and start to actually build out some of the use cases. Our product team has these use cases that they have in a Google Drive document somewhere. And I was like, you know what? It'll be cool to just make these, just show what they're like. So I was like, I want to do this, but the key is that I want to do it on stream. I'm like, I can either do it on my own time. And she was like, no, why would you do that? I was like, I don't know, because I'm more productive at night when I don't have shit else going on. But she was like, yeah, you can do it during work hours. I was like, all right, whatever. So what I'll likely do, I told her I'm going to time box it because I'd rather do this outside on my own time. But I told her I'll probably dedicate like 2 hours a week to streaming that kind of stuff. So there may be more building soon. And the building that will happen will be either Android, iOS. Yeah, probably just those two. Maybe React Native. I don't know. It's technically Android and iOS still, but we'll see. We'll see which thing I use. But it'll be mostly mobile type stuff, as well as web. Because I did tell her it's like, yeah, I can also put together a little web page or whatever. We'll see. I'm gonna be pairing with my CTO, or no, not our CTO. I'm sorry, our VP of Engineering next week. So maybe something cool will come out of that, where it'll be like, oh yeah, this could be cool. So we'll see. There might be some things coming that I haven't even thought of yet. So just be on the lookout for that on the live stream front. What's up, Marshall? How you doing? I didn't realize that you were here. Glad I bought land with my house. Yeah, having land is good, I think. Yeah, having land's good, especially if you have a lot of it and it's valuable. And when I mean it's valuable, it's like, say for instance, you have minerals under there, because if you have the mineral rights, you can make a shit ton of money if you find oil under there, or if it's in a very ideal location. You could technically either sell it to a developer, or you could become a developer yourself and an entrepreneur and go out and raise funds and get it developed yourself and make a killing. So it's like, if you have 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 acres, you can do well. I thought about buying land at one point, but I was just like, it doesn't make sense for me to buy land here in Houston because we don't have zoning. So you might have to do like when you do your environmental inspection, there might be cleanup and all that kind of stuff that you have to do. Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? I'd rather go to a place where there are already houses, where it's like residential, because the last thing I want to do is buy a piece of land and then find out that it has toxic waste, and then I can't build anything on it until I get that cleaned up, and that can take that takes a lot. Right. And it's easy to have something where it's like, oh yeah, like you have to do these things because we have a lot of dilapidated shit here. And I'm not just talking about here in Houston, I'm talking about in America. I don't know if y'all have noticed, if y'all ever go anywhere, but a lot of places in our country is falling apart. It's kind of pathetic, actually. It's kind of funny to me sometimes when I come back home to America and have all these Americans like, oh, this is the best place, most advanced place. And I'm like, I'm coming from a country where it's just like, I come back to here, I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this this backwards ass place? It's just like, it's comical how far behind we are in certain areas. Now that said, if you're living in a major city, that doesn't really hold. But if you're just like America as a whole and you're comparing it to other countries, sometimes we are a little ass backwards, a little bit. Not all the time, not in every aspect, but in some aspects. The ones that matter to me, at least. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close Final Cut. We're not gonna do any of that anymore. I hope y'all enjoyed the sound of the bike. That was actually the point of this stream, by the way. Just FYI, I was excited to hear what the bike sounded like from my helmet mic, and I've done that. It sounds epic. It doesn't sound as glorious as it sounds in person. It sounds. I can't even describe what it sounds like, but it makes me calm inside. That's what it is. Oh, man. All right. Tinder data. What the hell is Tinder data? Tinder is still a thing? Oh, dude, there's some that I've been thinking about. So I saw some other guy was doing an experiment where he applies to these jobs, and what he'll do is he'll change his name to a female name into a male name. And what he found was that he got significantly more like responses. So what I want to do is try that out and maybe make a video of it as a just to see. So I may do that, maybe. Apply to 100 different jobs and across different titles, all that kind of thing, different seniority levels. I'm not really interested in the jobs. It's just I'm going to apply to them, and then I'm going to apply to them twice using the same resume, but I'll change the name, and I want to see if I can reproduce his results. If I will get the same type of responses. He said that for his 100 apps, he got 7 responses when his name was a male name, and he got 65 responses when his name was a female name. So there's a big difference. So I want to see if that's reproducible, because maybe there's something there, and maybe that's something that I can start to talk about more. It's just like all of the, so like we always talk about like equality and egalitarianism and all this other shit, but in reality, that's not the case. So I want to see if that's really true, or if that's just an agenda, if it's just propaganda. I want to see if this is actually something that's happening and occurring in our society. I have my suspicions, but I'm not going to lead with those. I'm going to lead with seeing. We can go out and measure, see what we see. What's making sense, Marshall? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I just saw your message, but I'm going to assume that whatever it is good. It's a good thing that it makes sense. Were you around to see that my chat bot thing, whatever I'm calling it, YTSB, it's able to produce a, what do you call this thing? Transcript file now from the server. So I can, call out to my transcribe route, and then it will find the latest video, which is kind of what I wanted to do. And then it'll go off and strip out the audio, and then it'll go off and do the transcription and then return that as an object. I gotta think about it. Maybe I should save that in the database. Yeah, because initially I was going to dump it into GitHub, but I don't know. Maybe I'll save it in the database. I'm over here thinking I shouldn't even be thinking about this right now. Oh, people getting, more response. Yeah. Well, I don't know why that makes sense. It shouldn't make sense in a fair society, right? Because we're all equal, right? Right? What we're experiencing is the same thing that was happening, or it's the beginnings of what was happening in other countries in the past. There are a lot of things happening in our country right now that remind me of what I learned about the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Getting rid of the four olds. That's the thing that sticks out. I don't know what the four olds are anymore. Let's see what the four olds are. But like a lot of what we're talking about, like it for whatever reason, four olds always comes up when I'm just like that's what comes up when I see things happening here. Four olds, cultural. I think one of them was like culture, education, or something like that. Let's see. What do you call it? Like religion, four olds simplified. something refers to categories used by red guards. What are they though? The 4 O's were old ideas. Okay, yeah. Old ideas, old culture, old customs, and old habits. Okay? Old ideas, old culture. So when I look at, all right, modernism, no more traditional. I'm not a traditional, modern. We're in a modern society. All right, old ideas, okay? Old culture. We're not in the 1950s anymore. No, we are all free, all that. Old culture, old customs. This is basically tradition to me. Old habits, like all of these things. This is what they wanted to destroy, the Red Guard in China. And I don't know what we're going to call the people who we have here now in the future, but they're going to have a title given to them. And, you know, the things that they're preaching, it closely aligns to many of the other socialist movements that have happened over the past 2 centuries. And in all of those movements, it resulted in death. Lots of it. Let's see the Bolsheviks. Let's go and see what the Bolsheviks did. I don't know if y'all know who the Bolsheviks are. You may learn some things. There were some things that happened, and you may realize that. I'm not going to say it. You can read it for yourself and draw your own conclusions. But there is some of this stuff that relates to the World War II in Germany. Just stuff. But yeah, Bolsheviks, they basically are the reason why Russia is a communist state. And what happened after they got into power? Well, their leader, Lenin, if you've heard of him, let's see how many people Lenin is estimated to have been the reason for their deaths. So estimated deaths. Maybe Google can figure that out. We don't care about that. How many deaths and killings should be associated with Lenin? See, I don't bother did he kill, because technically he didn't kill them himself, but I understand what they're saying. They're getting at, like, his policies, his all that, it led to that. So let's see if they have any of that. Let's see, deaths. It's a lot. Okay, there we go. 5 million. 5 million. By the way, more people died than this, but this is just during like one of the famines, I think. I'm sure there are estimates that'll just give me a number. Let's see, estimated killings. Let's see if Google will give me that at least. Yeah, over 8 million. The Bolsheviks, they led to 8 million people dying. In fact, one of the things that I noticed with a lot of these socialist movements is they devalue life. We're doing that here in our country. I don't know if you realize it. We actually do have something that's akin to a Holocaust in our country. We just don't call it that. We call it something else. We do have something called politically correct. And by the way, political correctness, that's a fucking Bolshevik thing. That came from the Bolsheviks. So yeah, we have a lot of things in common here. So I fully expect that within the next 5 to 10 years, we will go through the same thing. We will likely turn or devolve into we're already in a totalitarian state, but we'll probably devolve into a socialist totalitarian state, and people will die. Straight up, more people will die than you may realize. But it's what they wanted. So what I'll do is I'll just leave. I'll go somewhere else. I'm gonna go somewhere else. That's what a lot of the people who are here who had the means, they leave. They don't fucking stay. It's only the people who can't go anywhere, and they're generally the people who voted for the things who have to deal with it. It's not just them though. For what it's worth, in these places, people weren't voting. I'm speaking here. I'm kind of superimposing what we have here over there. They don't really vote for their people. We vote, so it's a little bit different. Although we only get to vote on who's presented to us, so is that really true representation? It's like, oh, you can only vote for these 2 people. Is that really a choice? Maybe some of y'all think it is. I don't know. Let's see how many people died during the Cultural Revolution, which is not the only thing that the communists, the socialists did in China. Like there's also the Great Leap Forward, which fucking killed a shit ton of people. Oh my gosh. Cultural Revolution deaths. Okay, so let's see here. So Category, yeah, ranging from 1 to 2 million people during the Cultural Revolution. All right, you're like, oh, that's not that bad. Okay, yeah, that's 2 million people. No, that's Houston. But let's also look at the Great Leap Forward, which I think is closer to 70 million. 15 to 50, we don't know. 55 million people. So just between Russia and China due to their socialist policies, that's what, 65 million people? Just right there. That's before we get into the other socialist regimes that exist and existed that resulted in millions of people dead. But yeah, we don't really know history. We have a population of idiots in our country. They're dumb and ignorant. And that's the worst thing, to be dumb and ignorant. Like, you can be dumb, but don't be ignorant. You should at least know what's happened. Like, no, you can be dumb. Like, you don't have to be smart, but you shouldn't be both, right? Honestly, I think being smart and ignorant is just as bad as being dumb as ignorant. Ignorant, right? Honestly, ignorance to me is just the worst, especially if it's willful ignorance. I think Martin Luther King says something about ignorant people. I don't know. I don't remember what he said. Martin Luther King, ignorant people. Let's see if we can find it. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Yes, this quote. That right there. Of course, I don't remember shit. I just kind of know broad strokes because most things that I learned, I got used to learning and having to explain things in my own words when I was younger. In fact, most of my teachers, because I wasn't in normal classes, we were expressly forbidden from regurgitating information. It always had to be in our own words. So a lot of times, like, I may know the broad strokes or like the gist of a quote, but I won't know it off top, because back when I was doing this type of stuff, it was always like, okay, what do you think they're really trying to say? Use your fucking brain and do some critical thinking and figure out what is he really trying to say, because there's always something more than just the words that you see on paper if you're smart and if you're willing to dig, right? So this is how I was kind of brought up to think by my teachers, because I actually had decent teachers, fortunately. So yes, this right here, I 100% agree that for me, just being ignorant is worse than being dumb. Like, dumb is not that big of a deal to me. Like, being smart and being dumb, like, honestly, being smart is overrated in my opinion. Being ignorant, that's just, to me, that's worse, because in ignorance, that's something that you can control to a certain degree, right? Obviously, if you live in certain states, propaganda, like, you may not have access to whatever, I get that. But from a conceptual level, ignorance is something that's more within your control than how intelligent you are. That, like, you can't go and practice being intelligent. That's not a skill set, right? But ignorance is something that you can absolutely change. You can not know something and say, you know what, I don't know this, I want to go learn more about this. And then you are no longer ignorant. You may still be dumb, but you're not ignorant. So hopefully, anyway. But yeah, like, man, he had some quotes, you know, Martin Luther King. He had one about black people too. That black supremacy is the same as white supremacy or something like that. Let's see. I don't remember what he said. Let's see. When I say that, I mean, I don't remember what he said verbatim. So let's see what we can figure out. Black supremacy. Supremacy? Is that how you spell supremacy, maybe? Black supremacy is as dangerous as white supremacy. And God is not interested merely in the freedom of black men and brown men and yellow men. God is interested in the freedom of the whole human race and the creation of a society where men will live together as brothers and all men will respect the dignity and worth of all human personality. I tend to agree with this, but obviously, like, I am going to agree with, you know, childhood heroes that, like, I was raised to revere. Like, obviously, this is a man who I read a lot of his stuff growing up because of reasons. Read a lot of his speeches, read a lot of his memoir, like a lot of stuff, a lot of not autobiographical, but biographical content around him. So like he's someone who I know a lot about. And it's not just him. There are a lot of black leaders who maybe are unknown to most people who I know of because I'm a little I don't like being ignorant, Let's see here. Companies are I see, my bad. That's still that's an old thing. For old time. But yeah, anyway, I see a lot of parallels with our current society and the Bolshevik Revolution, as well as the Cultural Revolution, not the Great Leap Forward, but the Cultural Revolution. And if you're someone who wants to learn more about these revolutions, a good first starting point is read this. This will be a good starting point. You're not going to learn everything. There are some authors who lived during this time who you can read their works, but there is a book that I would just say, if you don't care about Bolsheviks, which I can, whatever. Maybe you care about the CCP because they are our largest trading partner. Most of you are probably broke as a result of our policies in the 90s, signed by Bill Clinton, to allow WTO. That's probably the reason why you can't afford your house. It's because we sent all of our manufacturing and all of our wealth over to that country. And that country, it's become more wealthy, but it's very concentrated in the hands of a few. But that came at the cost of you being able to get a job that pays well, that you don't have to work slave hours to barely be able to afford where you live and your groceries and all those other types of things. So that may be a reason to care more about the Cultural Revolution, because it was the CCP, and the CCP is the government that benefited from the hollowing out of our industry here in America. And it's not just here in America, it's also in Europe too. The reason why we can't produce shit is because we got rid of it all, and we no longer have the skills, and we no longer have the facilities. We no longer have any other things to do it here. And now we also have this thing called entitlement, where our younger generations, who are mostly incompetent and can't do much, somehow believe that they deserve to make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year, or however many thousands of dollars a year that people on the internet are saying that you need to make. They all feel entitled to make that amount of money, which is interesting, because I have talked to a lot of people who, they're like, I want to make that kind of money and all that kind of stuff. And when I'm talking to them, I'm just like, I don't say it because that would be rude, but I think it. I'm like, oh, you're dumb. like not just dumb, but it's like you don't even have any valuable skill set. It's like, what can you do? Because I used to hire people, and I was just like, you really think your output is worth me paying you that kind of money? Like, really? I hired Russians, by the way. I hired a whole team of Russians, bro. They were phenomenal. Now, I did have to handhold them in some things, but it was fine because I didn't have to do anything technically. It was more like from product level. I can, hold hands doing that. I don't have to be like, this is how you do a for loop. I never had to really do that. I'm just trying to make a point. I never was like, oh, this is how you do a for loop. But the level of competency, that's what I feel like it is. It's like, oh, you can write a for loop and you think you deserve 6 figures. Okay. Sure. I see that. I also see people at Buc-ee's making 6 figures. Most people at Buc-ee's are not making 6 figures. The people that you say people, that's generally 2 or 3 folks within Buc-ee's who make that. That's generally the general manager of the store. They have a lot of responsibility, and that's the thing that I don't think a lot of younger folks really understand. If you want to make a lot of money, you need to have a lot of responsibility. That's how it works. You don't get to make a lot of money and not have a lot of responsibility. Responsibility means that you're going to work harder. You're going to work more. You're going to be accountable for more things. That's why you get paid more money, is because you are accountable. You're responsible for more shit. Straight up. That's the only reason why, someone like, a junior engineer is only going to make maybe $80,000 on the high end, is because what are they responsible for? Nothing. All they can really do is maybe add features, maybe implement a part of a feature or something like that. They're not the person who owns the code base and who owns the product and who owns all of the support, all of the things that go along with that. It's not them. So it's like, of course, like, why would you expect to make $180,000, $200,000, $300,000 if you're not responsible for that kind of shit? You're not leading people. You're not over a whole, you're not over infrastructure, over a system. You're not over a particular subsystem. You're just like, you're a cog. It's just like, if you're a cog, you shouldn't expect to make that kind of money. You should expect to make average money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with average. At least now today there is something wrong with average money today. Historically, there was nothing wrong with average, because you can make average money. A single earner, you can make average, and you can still afford to pay for a home, buy a car, support your family, and have money left over for vacations. Nowadays, that's not the case, but that's more to do with other economic factors. It's not to do with that, to earn an average wage is a bad thing. I don't believe that. That's one thing that you will probably never hear me say, is that if you only earn average, that's bad. No, I actually don't think that. I think it's bad that you can't afford to live if you make an average wage, because by definition, most people are going to earn an average wage. And if most people can't afford to live and they're out on the street, that's a tax, effectively. It's a tax on people who aren't living on the streets. Why? Well, it's because now your city's more dangerous. Like, you have a lower quality of life. You have all these things that you may not be paying for financially, but you are paying for it. Not everything is paid in dollars. Some things are paid in other ways. But yeah, people at Buc-ee's make a lot. I thought about working at Buc-ee's once. I don't know if I want to work at Buc-ee's. I kind of want to. It would be kind of cool to open up like truck rest stops, but Buc-ee's does that too. So I don't know if I'd be able to compete with that. I was going to bring up the value of today's money. Dollar is weaker because of inflation. People could afford to support their family on a single income. Yeah, but you want to know what? There was a reason. I don't know. Maybe this is a conspiracy, but I believe it because it makes sense to me. Someone said, I think it was you, Jimmy. You said that when we were talking about value, that because there are more people here and housing is finite, or like there's always lower supply of housing than there is for demand, that the value goes up. Well, let's take that. Let's invert it. So that means if we have fewer people, the price of houses should go down, right? Well, when we bring this out to the workforce, the labor force, right? Because that's also a market, labor. What happens when you have a small labor pool is that you're gonna have to pay them more money because you have a smaller labor pool. Now, what happens if you double the size of that labor pool? What happens? Well, wages can fall because there's more supply, there's more labor supply, and the demand is basically the same, right? On the supply side, the demand for labor is effectively the same. So by increasing the labor pool, you can decrease the wages. I'll just leave it at that. This is a good opportunity for you to just, go where you want with that. I won't really, I won't go anywhere else with that, but just let that sink in, right? Like, we doubled the labor pool. And now neither, like the old people who are in the labor pool and the new people who are in the labor pool, neither of them can afford to do anything individually anymore. So yeah. And also, as a result of doubling the labor pool, we now have generated more economic activity because as a result of doubling the labor pool, the new entrants into the labor pool have a higher propensity of spending money stupidly, frivolously. So that means that there's more money circulating, and more people can make more money because there are you got double the people in the labor pool, and they're all living apart mostly. So like you have more apartments, more people, more single people. I'm contributing to that to some way, but you also have more people spending all their money on dumb shit like clothes and shit. I'll let you go where you want with that one. That's exactly what happened with computer science and new grads. Now instead of hiring peeps with a pulse, they're actually checking proficiency. There has never been a time when I've worked in tech where they weren't checking for proficiency. Never. Every job that I've had to go through very difficult, what do you call those things? I forget what you call technical interviews. Everything except for my first job, but I got that through a connection. But like, in the second job too, because that was also like, it wasn't a connection, but like I had my first job, which helped. But like for the most part, all of my jobs, I had to do these technical interviews, and typically it's multiple rounds. That's including at the current job that I have now. That I didn't even apply to this one. I was just like, wait, what? I had to do this? But yeah, I had to do a technical interview here as well. But for me, like, I say difficult, like they were difficult a long time ago when I didn't really know what to expect with interviewing. But after like the third or fourth one, it's easy as hell now. It's like if either you know shit or you don't. Like if you know how to do the stuff, it's not easy. It's not hard. Generally, like the most advanced question I've ever been asked was a graph question. Like, I mean, I'm generalizing it. Like it boiled down to a graph question. It wasn't actually a graph question, but it has something to do with like finding the distance between all of the different beacons. So like, say for instance, you're in a place, you need to be able to like locate where you are based off of all these beacons around you, Bluetooth beacons. I forget like the details. This was a long time ago, but yeah, that was the hardest one I got. Yeah, and then I remember there was one interview where I was like, I didn't think I did well, but then they offered me the job at this company called P90 something, doing energy trading, that type of thing. That was an interview because I didn't know what to expect. I went in, and the first thing was 4 people come in. I was like, oh, what? I wasn't expecting that. 4 people come in, and as soon as they come in, one of the dudes, he's like on the whiteboard, he goes straight to the whiteboard. He introduced himself, whatever, and he goes and writes like professor style, writing this thing. And he's like, we need you to solve this. Just on the spot. I'm like, okay. And they wanted me to write the code for it as well. So I wrote the code on the whiteboard, like on the whiteboard. For what it's worth, that's not that big of a deal for me because when I was in college, we actually, for a lot of my, like my data structures course, especially that one, we actually had to implement the like certain algorithms and data structures writing by hand in C++. We had to implement shit like we had to do a like AVL tree traversals. We had to do the rebalancing for red black trees. We had to do the direct access data structure. Like we had to like literally fucking write the implementation by hand on paper. So I'm not, for me, like it's not that big of a deal to come up with a solution without an actual computer because some of my classes, my CS classes, we didn't use a computer. It was all whiteboard, and the professors were like, we're teaching you how to think. Like if you can't figure out how to do this here, then like it's no hope for you to do it on a computer. So a lot of the stuff that we ended up having to do was on paper, essentially on a whiteboard. So it wasn't that big of a stretch for me to like be like, okay, sure. But it was very just like, okay, that's interesting. You don't want to ask about me. You don't want to say like, who are you? None of that. That's cool though. Wait, do you draw a circle using the distance between you and the beacon as the radius, rinse repeat with the other beacons? No, you can't because you got to worry about computational complexity. And like, I want to be clear here. I don't remember the details. When I say this is a problem that I was presented with 12 years ago. Just keep that in mind. I don't know what you can remember from 12 years ago, but if you can remember a lot, then congrats to you. I have a lot of other things that have gone into my mind, but I think it was to do with being able to find a subset within a larger graph of things to be able to locate where you are and figure out something. I forget what they wanted to figure out, but it boiled down to a graph problem. That's the thing that I can remember, because I mean that was my solution. I was just like, oh, it's a graph problem. And the optimal solution, I want to say, was a O n log n solution. Yeah, n log n. Or was it n log n? Or was it n? I don't remember. I don't remember the details, to be honest. I remember the name of the company though. This was for Factual. This company, I don't know if they're still around. Let's see, Factual company. Oh, okay, they're still around. Or no, I guess they're not. So the thing about Factual is that the founder, I don't know if it was both or two, but the founder was the guy who created AdWords, Google AdWords. That was the reason why I wanted to work there, was because it's not every day you get to work with the person who created. I think AdWords was bought. Now that I think about it, I think it was bought from whatever. But yeah, it's not every day that you get to work with the person who created a multi-billion-dollar business, essentially. Like Google AdWords is the reason why Google is makes a shit ton of money from that. Like that's what did it. And one of the founders was the guy behind that. So when I found that out, I was like, oh man, I would love to work here. The problem is that they were based in LA and they wanted me to move there. And I thought about it for a while, but like at that time I was with my girlfriend, and I was like, no, the offer that they gave me, while it was, like y'all may be like, oh, it was a lot. Like it was only $112,000 offer. And to be in LA and then, have to try to support me and someone else on $112,000 when at that time I was already making 120, I was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I ended up not going there. But it was a memorable experience. Like their office was dope. It was the first time that I went to one of those swank ass like tech offices where they had like foosball and air hockey and like a stocked fridge. Oh, it was awesome. I was just like, oh, this is dope. And the weather was nice because it's LA. It was in a dope place right next to is it CX whatever the management agency is, where all of the stars, entertainers, movie stars, athletes, if they have an agent, they tend to work in this bill. I forget what the name of the agency is called, but they all work there. So like on the street, you will always be seeing like dope shit. So it was like, man, that would be a really dope place to work. I think it was in Century City. Think about it, Century City. Let's see. Yeah, this looks familiar. Century City. Yeah, so it was here in LA. And I remember I went to this restaurant. Oh my gosh, it made me so sick. I think I died for like a day after eating at that restaurant. Anyway, it looks like they're not here anymore. Yeah, I guess, I don't know what happened to them. Did they sell out? Singles, news. Oh well, I guess they're not here anymore. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go in a bit because it's late, but before I go, I do want to share this. This is a course that I am currently going through. I need to relearn Julia. I haven't done anything with Julia in a while. So I was like, yeah, I want to go through this. And because this is, wait. Why was the reason why I wanted to do this? Oh, because it had computational photography stuff. So I was like, I'm getting more into computational photography. And I want to be able to like somehow apply that to some of my other studies that I used to do back when I was in grad school. I don't know if y'all know this. My studies were statistics and like basically applied mathematics and machine learning. So yeah, and then I think when I was in undergrad, my focus was in AI. Believe it or not, so it wasn't as popular as it is today, at all. In fact, when I was in computer science, not grad school, but undergrad, when I was in doing my undergrad in computer science was not a popular major back then. I started school shortly after the .com bust. So computer science was not a very popular degree or field to study when I went to college. My class when I graduated was 12 people from computer science. Now, obviously it's more popular now, I guess, but you know, I guess that's the benefit of getting in early, right? So like all the people who got in the early 90s and fucking killed it, congrats to them. I'm very fortunate I was able to get in the early 2000s because I don't have to deal with all that, you know, the stuff that y'all have to deal with, where it's like y'all are all competing for like the same jobs effectively. And you know, a lot of the new grads don't really have usable skills or useful skills in anything. You know, that I guess they can implement a quick sort, I guess. Can y'all implement a quick sort? I'm curious. I have an implementation of a quick sort that I don't think that you believe is an implementation of quick sort, I think. Let me see if I can find it, if I still have it. Where would it be? Hermes, maybe? Media. I think I have some of my old projects from back in the day on here. Maybe. I hope. Maybe it's in Dropbox. Or maybe I've lost everything, because it's honestly like after years of being like having all this stuff, it's hard to keep all this stuff together. Query snippets, queries, HackerRank, quicksort. Okay, yeah, so here is an implementation of quicksort. I'm curious, cause I think this is my shortest implementation. It took me like a couple minutes to write it. Not even a couple minutes. It probably took me like 45 seconds to write this one. It was actually very easy. Let me find my applications. We're gonna open this in Zed. In fact, it's taking me longer to fucking open it than it probably took me to write it. It's in I wrote it functionally, so it's easier for me. And I think this is it. Oh no, this isn't it. But it's close enough. This is it's not the one I want. I have another implementation that's literally 2 lines. 2 lines of code. It's F# code though. So, you know, for what that's worth. But yeah, here it is right here. Here is a quicksort. And just a few lines of code. Quicksort. That's it. You know, you take your X and then you pivot. You figure out all the ones that are less bad. You have your 2 things, and then you recursively call your sort again, and then you pass in your smaller ones, and then you concatenate it with the new list of things. And yeah, it's quick sort. But this isn't the one that I wanted to see. I don't know where it is. This try right here. I'll show this, even though it's not really that relevant. I just happened to see it. But this try right here, I believe I did this try here. This is a tool that I used to use back in the day to quickly play around with C# code to not have to create a whole new project in Visual Studio. And this is what I built this to implement my solution for GitHub. So very, very, very quickly into the problem that I was reading. I was just like, oh, man, I could fucking use a try for this shit. So I was like, let me go and implement this try over here. And then like when I actually go and build out the solution, which I might be able to show because it's been so long and GitHub doesn't use this. In fact, it was only the client apps organization that had these insane ass interviews. But I was just like, oh, I could use a try for this and I can get the shit in constant time or something ridiculous. But here is a try implementation, which is fairly easy to implement, right? It's just based on an array. In fact, this one is truly based on an array. You can use a list, but I chose not to use a list for reasons that I won't get into right now. But I did choose not to use a list. And yes, I do remember this because I remember, like, I know stuff like this is like so fundamental to me to where it's like I can easily remember back and be like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, this is a try. And yeah, we got a dope ass interface for it. At least I'm gonna call it a dope ass interface because it's just add. It's the easiest interface. You can add things to the try. And as you add things, you can add whatever you want. So I was able to add, I think like 500,000 different strings. And I was able to find words in a word search puzzle or something like that. And stupidly fast. stupid fast. It's not even funny how fast. And I also think I did a parallel implementation of something. I don't know if it's here. I don't know if I'll be able to find that anywhere here. Snippets. Let's see. Notebooks. Yeah, it looks like. Old projects maybe. Tutor Me, Solution Harmony, computer. Yeah, it looks like I don't have my GitHub interview thing on here. But that's not to say that I don't have it. I have an old virtual machine on one of these SSDs where that stuff is probably stored. And it may still be in my GitHub somewhere. I just don't remember the name of it. I had to go and look. But if that's something that y'all are interested in, you'll have to let me know. I'm not going to go out of my way to look for it if no one's really interested in it. And it has to be more than one person. Only a couple of people interested. I don't know if it's worth me having to go and try to figure out where all this shit is. But maybe it is, because I need to figure out where shit is. No, it's not in here. I was like, maybe it'll be here. No. All right, man, this is a mess. I thought I was doing a good job of keeping my stuff organized, and I'm looking back at it now. I'm like, nah, I'm not. This one right here was fun. Here was one of my interview questions for a high frequency trading shop here in Houston. And effectively, I just needed to do Huffman coding, which was it's not that difficult, which is a well-known compression technique. For what it's worth, here's Huffman coding. So you have different ways of compression. You have RLE compression, or is it RLE? What is it called? Run length encoding. Yeah, RLE. Yeah. Run length encoding. Yeah, you have that. You have other types of coding, but what's cool about Huffman coding is that we can use, what do you call it? We can basically like take the path that we would get to a node and we can use that as a code, which is much shorter to represent than other things. Anyway, basically this boiled down to implement a Huffman coding algorithm, and then they gave me some example data. These are trades. What trades coming across the wire would look like. And then to be able to answer these questions. So I think they wanted metrics demonstrating the compression results of the program. I think that's the compression ratio. I think that's what it's called. I forget. I don't know the words of things anymore. They wanted me to discuss documents. So this is why I got really, really, really good at explaining myself, because when I worked in consulting, which was most of my career up until I turned 27, a lot of it is, it's not just here's a solution. It's like, no, here's a proposed solution. And then here's a bunch of words, and we have to present it and we have to persuade. It's not just we're going to do this. It's more like, here's what we want to do, and we have to convince our clients that this is something that's going to work. So I got really, really, really good at being able to not only explain stuff to regular people, but to also explain stuff technically and document all my stuff, because that's something that I've kind of always done, because I don't have a great memory. It's my deficiency, so I use that to my advantage. I write everything down. Yeah, and I think I have I think there might be an implementation here. Yeah, it looks like that's implemented. Untitled twos. What is this? Qs? QS? Is this another quicksort? Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, of course it is. Yeah. So back when I used to tutor folks, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they have a lot of issues with quick sort, merge sort, and all the radix sort, all the different sorts. And one of the things that I would do was try to convince people that this shit is easy as fuck. It's not hard. You just fucking draw the picture. It's that easy. Just fucking draw the picture, and you might get it. Anyway, so this is another implementation of quicksort. And if we look at just the actual implementation, we see that, even including the curly brace, which adds nothing, it's 14 lines of code. And yeah, you don't have to do this, right? Like you do this a different kind of way, but this is actually doing a quick sort. Yeah, man. I'm glad I don't have to code everything anymore. I'm doing all this shit. I don't have to do any of this anymore. Oh man. Good luck to y'all. Good luck to y'all. I know y'all want to get into software engineering. I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not saying that I dislike it. I'm just saying that after 10 years of doing it, it's nice to be able to move on to bigger, better things. And you know, it's still kind of cool that I have the ability to build whatever I want, but it's even better. It's even cooler that I have the ability to explain what the fuck I want built to someone else and have them do it. That's even better to me, because that's just like, to me, that's winning. I can have my cake and not have to make it. You know, like I can have a clean apartment and not have to clean my own. Oh yeah, I'll take that. That's basically what this is to me right now. All right, I'm going to assume that there's nothing else to be said. I've been yapping for about 2 hours now. Let's see if I've hit my goal. Maybe I'll yap for a little bit longer if I'm very close to hitting my stream goal, which I should, honestly, I would have hit had I streamed to Twitch the other day. Why is this shit just playing? I didn't ask for that. Disgusting girls. I don't want to see them. All right, am I at my 1,000 hours yet? Wait. Oh, I hit it. I hit it. Oh, shit. I hit it a while ago. Oh, man, I didn't know that. Why didn't it tell me? I didn't get any kind of notification. Oh, yeah, this is dope. Take my screenshot right quick. All right, I'm almost close to these, I guess. Yeah. Over here hitting goals. This was a stretch goal for me, by the way, to hit 1,000 stream hours. I hit it. So now the other goal is to, I've hit most of my goals. I've hit the stream. Actually, I spoke too soon. I quit that too soon. Let me see where I am. I forgot to actually go and do the thing that I was meant to do. See where I'm at. So we'll go January, update to today. We're at 300. Oh, look at that. I am 99 hours away from hitting my stream goal. I've already hit my video goal. I hit my 1,000 hours of streaming since I've started goal. I hit my subscriber growth goal. I hit my viewer count goal. I hit my, honestly, I'll probably even hit the stretch goal of getting full monetization on my channel. And I know that I'll only make a few dollars a month. I'm not really worried about the actual amount of money. It's just something to accomplish, because I used to have a fully monetized channel 12, 13 years ago. And I was making quite a bit. I was making, it was helping me pay for school, actually, books and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is kind of cool that I'm probably going to hit all of my goals, including stretch goals, including things that I had intended to hit next year. I'll probably hit them this year. So it looks like I'm on track to get my stream monetized by the end of this month and be fully monetized by November. And I may even hit my stream goal by the end of November. So in December, like I may be able to travel. You know, because I don't know if I mentioned that I normally travel a lot. In fact, every winter I take a winter break. I go somewhere for about a month or two, and I decided that I would not travel anymore this year until I hit my goal, and that's going to carry forward into next year as well, because it worked. It actually worked. By not being like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this place, let me go somewhere else. I'm actually able to hit my goals. So I'll probably do the same thing next year, which is just deny myself the ability to travel and just stay home and kind of focus. So next year it's going to be based off of what I do this year. The performance is always going to be bigger, better. So we'll have to figure out what I'll do next year in December. I'll have the time to do it while I'm on vacation, hopefully, maybe. Yeah, it is. It's kind of nice to be getting closer to the goals. Let's see where I am on the monetization front. Again, the actual money part doesn't really matter. It's mostly I said that I would do it. That's it. It's like If I can't hold my own, if I can't even keep my own promises to myself, how can I expect anyone else to respect anything that I say? You know, I think it's on the earn. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah, look at that. So I need about 180 hours to go. And this is actually harder to hit than you think, because this is a year. So like every day, it's subtracting the hours that, you know, no longer that no longer qualify, and it's also adding the hours. So it's always going to be the net difference. So I did see last week that this did actually go down, because this was a little bit higher. It was at I think it was like 15 hours higher. So it is going down, but it's now I noticed that it tapered off. So it's not going down anymore. It's going up. It's not going up as fast, but that can be easily fixed. That's literally, I release a video and I will get this, because videos, they do well. Like most of these views are from videos. It's not from my streams. Streams don't do well at all. They do very bad. I can show you that too. Let's see, content. We'll look at our lives. Yeah, you see here, this is 28 days. Let's just look for the past 3 months just to see. Yeah. So in 3 months, streams, less than 4,000 views. And it gets worse when you start to look at the average view duration. Impressions. The impressions is good, but it's still less. It's 172,000. Click-through rate, I'm actually pretty surprised that that's so high, given that I don't put any form of thumbnails, and it's really just a random picture of myself that YouTube picks out, and I'll just go and click it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna use that picture. So like I put zero effort into thumbnails. So an easy win for next year is to increase my click-through rate on my streams by 50%. I think that's something that's doable. That's effectively saying to get this to about 2.5%. You know, it's about 50%, I believe. And that's something that I think, you know, I can do, because it's like, all right, well, I know what I can do. I focus on titles and I focus on thumbnails, and that will boost my impression click-through rate much higher, because on my videos, it's higher. It's 2%. And you see here that the videos are doing much better. So it's like 5,000. 165. The view duration is not as great though, but you also got to keep in mind videos are not 3-4 hours. So, you know, to have 12 minute view duration on a 3 or 4 hour average stream is pretty pathetic. You see here where people drop, but these videos, I don't care. These are just to get my videos out, right? Like to hit my goal. They're actually not that interesting to most people. I understand that. I don't even care. Like it's mostly like, let me put it out there. The people who like this kind of stuff, they'll watch it. People who don't want to watch it, that's fine. But over time, I do expect to put out different types of content, like more interesting, more valuable content, I think. And this fixing my email is a step in that direction. I'm not saying that that's where I want to end up, but it's a step in that direction of how do I get from just doing random shit to let's kind of like go through a journey, you know? And I didn't do a good job in this other one because I started it last minute, like after I went through all of this shit, because I didn't know I was going to have my email broken. So it was kind of like, let me just get the fix. So you miss out on all of the context, all of the emotion, all the trials and tribulations over the course of a week or so. Yeah, you only just see me fixing it, but it's still a step in the right direction. No, nonetheless. All right, let's pick my thumbnail. Let's see if I can pick it now. I've been waiting to pick this thumbnail since the stream ended. I don't know why it's taking so long to let me pick this thumbnail. It's still not letting me pick it. See right here. So normally it'll come up with a random ass thumbnail, and I'll literally just click that. And I put zero effort into thumbnails for lives. The reason for that is because no one watches them. Hey, I just saw like, I mean, it's fucking not that many views. So I don't want to put much effort into it. Anyway, I'm going to assume that, you know, that y'all are sleepy, and I don't really see any interactions going on here. So I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good night. I'll probably see you next week. Peace.